Week again. I miss you all. So somebody will ask why the title "Let's Be Like Abraham as a Lady," right? So how does a man relate to a lady? Not necessarily, okay. A man and a lady are not supposed to be equal, but there is a certain story about Abraham that he did all that was necessary to be done because he was not having any child to adopt. He did whatever necessary to adopt somebody as his son, treated that person nicely, and then gave him the best education, which is mentoring, teaching him how things are supposed to be done and it's all. But that child or that son that he adopted was, even from his family, became a foster child, and he was always willing to leave Abraham behind, right? And that's how it links to us as ladies. You might do everything right for yourself or for that gentleman or for somebody that loves you, but in this case, talking about romantic relationships, right? And that person may leave you behind, would want to go regardless of what you do for that person. They want to leave you. Okay, so we must be like Abraham as a lady, because we must also copy. We in Abraham's situation must copy what Abraham did. So this is part one of this topic. Be like Abraham as a lady. Part two will be coming later. Okay, that's why you need to subscribe. Follow this channel, subscribe, share, comment, and like. Okay, so moving on with the story. This Abraham, it got to a time that it seems the adopted child was fed up of him and he was still pushing to leave, and it was bringing disputes, confusion, fights among his servants and the adopted child's servants. So the child had grown and now he was having even a wife and servants, and it became a quarrel. So Abraham was like, they are fighting about the grazing area for their animals, their cattle, etc. So Abraham was like, choose. There was a luxurious part, and then there was a non-entity, like a place that was not too luxurious or not luxurious at all, that Noah would want. But these were the only two options available. So he was like, choose what you think you want. Anyone that you choose, I'll go with the other. And lo and behold, the child chose the best, the luxurious place with nice flowing water and an area, and he left. Right? Okay, so as ladies, how does it relate to us? Choose what comes your way. And we are not always in the situation that we must choose. We don't choose. Ladies, we are found, right? We don't choose, we are chosen. But you'll be there and other people will come. So I always encourage that you have your list ahead. Know the pros and cons. No, not the cons, but know the pros and cons when somebody comes. But that one is later. What we must do is that we must put in the things that you want in that partner. What you expect, like the things that you see and are red flags. Things that you don't want. If the person is, you let the person go, right? But what if after making that list, the person that comes is everything that you wanted, but without money, without resources? What do you do? And that's how come Abraham's story becomes useful for us. That you must what? Choose like Abraham chose. Now the person meets all your positive flags, your green flags. Maybe they don't have money, maybe they don't have resources, maybe they don't look, they don't look a certain way, maybe they don't have a particular kind of education that you wanted, maybe they don't dress a particular kind of way. But you just have to accept, because it meets your green flag. So that green flag person, the green flagged person who comes first is who you accept, right? You don't say that, okay, this green flag person is not looking nice, I like the second green flag who is luxurious. Okay, because it always leads to bad situations. If you choose the second or the third green flagged person, it always ends in bad situations. the end of the story is that later on this Abraham got blessed abundantly, and the person that chose the green flagged, the second, like the green flagged in a wrong way, right? Abraham that chose the green flag, that was not looking nice, at least, was more successful at the end of their lives, was more accomplished and more fulfilled, right? I'm not saying choose red flags, but I'm saying that this is to inspire you to choose what? Green flags that come first. Green flags that come first before the green flagged person that came next. See you in another episode, part 2 of this, with another story. Bye.